What's up? Day 7. Day 7 today. I missed a day, so I'm gonna have to make 2 videos in one day tomorrow to make up for it. But day 7. All right, what are we going to talk about today? We will talk on a thing that I've been wondering about, and that is how much suffering and pain do we cause ourselves by creating problems that aren't even there or aren't as big as we think. Because I'm kind of fascinated with how the mind works and how to deconstruct the mind and figure out the ways that we trap ourselves, and also how we can release stuck thought patterns or constructs or complexes in our minds. How do we release those? I'm super interested in that topic. And being super interested in that and having kind of an obsessive mind, I can kind of get stuck in overanalysis. And I'm sure that so many people who are into self-development get stuck in that as well. And it can almost seem like people who don't even analyze their lives or don't even consciously make any effort to examine themselves in order to grow and in order to reveal the things that might be negatively impacting their life. It almost seems like some of those people are more at ease sometimes and just more able to be in the moment and not have any reservations about themselves. And it makes me think, how much do we harm ourselves through that analysis of ourselves? How much of it is actually constructive and how much of it is just feeding the idea that we are not enough, or that we need to be fixed, or that we're deficient in some way. It's a super confusing and interesting topic. And I don't know if I know the answer to this, but I've found with most things, it's probably a bit of a balance. It's somewhere in the middle. I feel like so many things when it comes to the mind or spirituality, so many of the things and the answers to these questions are somewhere in the middle. And it's usually about being able to hold 2 contradicting ideas in your mind at the same time, 2 different perspectives. I think that is a part of maturing psychologically / spiritually, because because I think it is worthwhile to examine yourself and explore your mind and see where your triggers are. I think that's a very important thing to do. But how do we be someone who does that and wants the best out of themselves and wants to become the best version of themselves and wants to explore their minds? How do we be someone who does that and at the same time have the same ease of self and the same ability to just chill and be in the moment as someone who doesn't think about all that shit? Someone who doesn't question if there's something wrong with them. They just live and they don't really want to examine themselves or feel they need to grow. It can go so deep, because what if, like, there are all these methods and fucking therapies and shit to examine yourself and figure out your triggers and your blocks and what might be holding you back. But what if the real answer and the more effective way to go about this is to simply put your attention on the ways that you want to feel. Focus on cultivating the states of mind that allow you to feel and behave in the ways that you want to. Because that is something I am wanting to start shifting. Because I am in the camp of obsessively analyzing myself. Because it is fun for me to kind of see what I can dig up and see what I can explore and, maybe make a breakthrough or something and release some kind of thing that's been kind of filtering my awareness my whole life and be free of that. I want that so bad, but what if the more effective way is to just imagine how I would feel if that happened and just try to embody that and focus on that instead of putting so much attention on these perceived flaws that I'm trying to fix. Because I think through doing that, I have made those things more powerful and more exacerbated. I don't know if that makes sense in my mind. And I think that has affected my confidence a bit, because I know before playing sports and stuff, I would try to embody these confident guys that I would look up to. And I remember feeling that, being able to feel that confidence in myself by just embodying that. And it's tough because you're not getting to the root cause of maybe the insecurity that you feel or whatever it is that is kind of your thing that holds you back. You're not getting to the root cause of it, but I think, like I said, it's a balance. I think there's a time to try and find the roots of the problem and dig it out. And there's a time, I think most of the time, you should just be focusing on the positive aspects of your personality that you want to reinforce, and also embodying and imagining yourself having the characteristics that you want, and just feeling that now, tapping into that now through the imagination. Like, what if that's the key? What if all of this... I do think people who have had deep traumas, they do need to do that deeper work and figure out and release those kind of things that are going on at those deeper levels. But I think maybe so much of our desire to feel a certain way can simply be achieved by just changing our perspective and our state of mind and what we focus on. Because I think our minds are so powerful and our beliefs are so powerful. So what if we just focus on super empowering states of mind and just continuously train ourselves to do that, and choose self-belief, choose confidence, choose to be your own best friend. I think the mind is so powerful that if you do that, eventually what you're imagining will become your reality. I mean, so many people talk about this, from like Joe Dispenza to, I think, Bruce Lipton. I don't know that much about him, but I know a lot of Joe Dispenza's stuff, and I know that's kind of his thing. And I like that because it gives you the power. You don't have to feel like you're broken and you need to do all this work, this like digging and shit to figure out what's going on, and you're kind of lost and confused and you're like, what do I do? Like, how do I solve this problem? Like, fuck that. Cut all that shit out and just fucking go right to the feeling that you want to feel and focus on that positive stuff. So that's what I want to try here going forward. I'm going to do that. I'm going to try that for the next week. I'm really going to focus on that, and then maybe I'll see how it is a week from now. Okay. And report back. Okay, word of the day. It's recycling words. It's recycling the same words. Okay. Momentum. Okay, momentum. I feel like I'm always... It's given me just words that you can kind of twist into like a psychological or philosophical frame, which I like. Momentum. Well, I can talk about momentum when doing these social challenges that I've been trying to do, speaking with people. Camera's going dark. What is this? Speaking with people. And the first one you do, you're terrified to do. And I'm not going to act like I'm going out there and approaching like 50 people, because I haven't done that yet, although I need to and would love to. But you approach one person, get over that initial fear, rip the Band-Aid off, and then you feel a little bit better. And then the next person, it's easier. And then the next is easier. And eventually you build that momentum. And you feel so free within yourself because you've built this social momentum, and your mind is finally relaxing and being like, okay, you're not holding back, and nothing bad has happened. We're still alive, so it must be okay to approach strangers or embarrass yourself in public. And I think that's pretty freaking cool. So I think next time I want to feel better, or I think if anyone wants to feel better and more comfortable in a social setting, like just do something or say something that kind of is out of the default mode for you. That's a little bit edgy, maybe. Nothing bad, but like maybe don't be afraid to say something, like make a joke where you could be judged or embarrass yourself, or just go talk to approach a total stranger and just embody the confident version of yourself that you want to feel with them. And don't give a fuck. Just go up and talk to them and pretend you're that version of yourself that you want to be. And then after that, go up to another person. And then another, and then another. And then build that momentum, get that momentum going. And then maybe you go and start doing sit-ups in the middle of the room. And then that'll really get you going on the momentum. But yeah, I think momentum, that applies to any habit you're trying to do. I think in the beginning it's shit, it's hard. And then the more you do it, the easier it gets. So that's all about momentum. All right. That's day 7 in the books. Peace.